In this damned country, which we hate and love, you can get anything you want. It's all spread out and available. That's why I believe in England.
In Hanif Qureshi's My Beautiful Launderette, characters are defined by division: British and Pakistani, straight and queer, socialist and capitalist. Set in the 1980s, they experienced the racist, anti-immigrant scene of South London, brought about by the height of far-right fascist groups. We follow a young Pakistani Briton man, Omar, and his family as he grapples with his own process of becoming in a country that silently defines identity by race and capital. But in a film that is constantly dividing, The Launderette is a unifier. And to understand how it mixes this crowd, we first need to understand the role of the launderette in Britain. Upon release, laundry machines were too expensive for most people to own, opening up a new sector of business. However, the social implication of a laundromat was unexpected.
People from all different walks of life coming in here and kind of sitting together and striking up conversation. It's nice, you don't get to do that anymore.
Community in an ever-privatizing world. In the film, the launderette is responsible for the unlikely interaction between every character. In the same vein that the launderette is a social space, each character's interaction with it informs how the launderette interacts with them in return. Omar's uncle approaches the launderette as a financial asset, something for Omar to wrangle and prove himself through. In return, Omar's uncle is wrangled by the launderette, after being confronted by his daughter.
But I don't like women who live off men. That's a pretty disgusting, parasitical thing, isn't it?
We watch his mistress leave him, leaving his family to fall apart. All set in motion at the launderette. The launderette also leads him back to his estranged brother. Although losing something along the way, he would have never been able to settle his differences with his brother if not for the launderette. If not for the launderette, Nisar's daughter would have never been challenged in her privilege.
But tell me, who do you live off?
And if not for the launderette, Omar and Johnny wouldn't have been reconnected. Together in their youth, Johnny's descent into a right-wing extremist group drove the two apart.
Look, don't cut yourself off from your own people. Look, there's no one else who really wants you. Everyone has to belong.
But it is Omar's offering of a job at the launderette that reconnects the two. But while social spaces often mimic the ostracization of people, the factor that neutralizes that hate is necessity. Everyone needs clean clothes, and there's a humbling in doing one's own laundry that doesn't allow for casting judgment in such a way. This aspect of the launderette is what allows for Omar and Johnny's queer relationship to not only exist, but thrive. However, through their combined labor of physically transforming the launderette, their lives grow more complex, mirroring the sophisticated look of the building. The better the business is going, the more alienated the two become from one another.
Get to work, I said, or else you're fired.
Where Johnny sees the launderette as an extension of Omar, something to respect and protect, Omar sees the launderette as an extension of himself, something to exploit. While the launderette has become the best version of itself, it's ruining the relationships of all that touch it. It's everything it should be, and nothing like they wanted. So what happens when we get to such a point? The laundromat has its own agency, just like any other character, and when it has reached a point where it no longer recognizes itself and its purpose, community, it rejects itself. It starts over. Because that's what laundrettes do. They transform. Wet to dry, dirty to clean, transitioning something from one plane of identity to another. Now, with the building destroyed and these two on their own, we can only hope that we can learn from one another and the destruction before the cycle repeats itself.